Hello, my beautiful collective. It is Psyche Kai here, and it's been a while since I've done a full YouTube reading. So if this video has found you, then there's definitely going to be a message for you in this collective general reading. So remember to use your discernment. I'm going to pull from my Rider-Waite. We have the Knight of Pentacles coming out. So I already feel like there is something that you've been progressing with a long period of time of doing things, working step by step, progress, going upon your path, doing your due diligence, honestly, is what's coming through, especially with this earth element energy. Mutable earth sign in this card. So, oh my God. Virgo. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know why. That's so interesting. I feel like maybe even more so, like, it's kind of like one of those things where you plant a seed. You don't really see it sprouting unless you like did like a video where you could see within the soil type thing. So it's like you don't see the bud, the seed crack open, right? You don't see the things that are happening underneath the soil. You know and trust. You have to have this ability to believe in yourself that you've planted the seed. Sometimes it's not going to grow what you think it's going to grow. You don't know when it's going to sprout. Maybe this is something that you've embarked on that's a new way of sharing yourself with the world and allowing your light to cultivate life, right? So that's kind of like the general like synopsis of this energy. I feel like on the surface it's just warmth, it's just warmth that you're giving yourself. It's this level of like love, this higher level of love that is really just so unattached to any form of results. So I feel like you're really enjoying the process. You're really enjoying the process and allowing it to unfold. We have the Queen of Swords and the Six of Wands. So if there is any sort of progress that you feel like you're willing to share with the world, whether it is in your own communities, I feel like, yeah, especially with the Seven of Pentacles coming out, like maybe sharing your progress with a close confidant, not even because you're necessarily viewing everything as a success, even like acknowledging the things that have fallen through and what you've let go of. Maybe like sharing that with even your coworkers, your confidants within your workspace. We have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So maybe you've been kind of considering whether it is a good idea to share these things with other people. It's perspective. I'm really sensing that with the Six of Wands and the Queen of Swords. But I wanted to say the Knight of Swords. It's like you're really stepping back. What the fuck? You're taking a step back to see whether you're able to communicate clearly, not because you consider things to always be going your way, right? It's not your way. It's that it's working out in your favor. So this is going to be an opportunity for you to share this with people and kind of like even see how they respond to you, maybe more so, especially with the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I'm really sensing that this will help maybe even the reevaluation of who you're surrounding yourself with, who you're sharing this information with, and how they respond to you. Like, do they put you down? Do they make you feel like you need to be pessimistic about your progress just because it's not going how you planned it to be? It's like that kind of mentality. And I do feel like you will be able to see a little bit more clearly what exactly is being presented by communicating these things and bringing this information forth. So that is of significance. We have the Five of Cups. Okay, so that is just further confirmation of what I was just saying. Let's go ahead and just pull a few more. We have the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Let's see. We have the Ten of Pentacles coming out as well. And then we have the Four of Swords. Yeah, so this isn't really going to be about, like when you communicate these things and you relay this information, there's something about maybe reevaluating even like how you hold your ground, how you actually perceive your progress to be. There's definitely going to be not only this side of like or this aspect of people responding to you and you identifying, oh, that's not a very like welcoming, safe space for me to share this kind of stuff. It's even like more so of like, how are you I just sensed like a lot of resistance just now. With the Four of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles being together, connected to the Ace of Cups, I do feel like you've been really witnessing how you've been not supporting yourself. That's actually more so what's being clearly shown to you. It's because you've made so much progress. You've made so much progress. You've been on this path. You've allowed yourself to let things unfold. You didn't take those things that didn't go to plan as like a negative thing. And now it's kind of like that is exactly what has built you up to see the situation clearly when it comes to the lack of fulfillment, honestly, the lack of celebration, the absence of it more so, you know? And it's because you've been giving yourself love, but more so like even in that light, you've made so much space to be loved. You've had to release a lot of things that weren't celebrating you truly and encouraging you and inspiring you. We have the Chariot card 7 at the bottom of the deck, ruled by Cancer. And Cancer rules the 4th house. And that is the house of like your home, your environment, your like childhood. What exactly you know about yourself. How you allow these things to unfold because you know that this is going to work in your favor no matter what. There's something about being so versatile in this nature that it's not really like you're unstable though in this energy. It's more of like you have this like very assuredness, and then simultaneously it's this almost, oh my God, how do I even articulate this? It's like you're reiterating these things almost. It's like you're not even like repeating yourself to such a detrimental way where you're like, damn, I just keep saying this shit over and over again. It's like it's being applied in a different way, and you're seeing that very clearly because you're allowing these things that have been brought into fruition through you, okay? Like you live through your life, you allow things to happen, you have this capacity within yourself to bring yourself out of detriment, to pick yourself up when you fall down. And you've done this time and time again, even when you're sweating blood, sweat, and tears, like truly, when you were not even like tears of sadness or blood from pain, it was just seeping out of you. It was like you're cleansing yourself without even knowing, is kind of what this is giving, like especially with the 4 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, and then the 5 of Cups coming out first though. It's like you really had to acknowledge these things. You really had to see clearly, like, how do I feel so like, it's like you're you're inflated, like you're a balloon, right? You're inflated up and then you become depressed. Like it depresses you, represses you, you're deflating, you know? And it became so small and shriveled and so decapacitated. Like you didn't have that space to move forward is what you thought, you know? And then when you allowed yourself to acknowledge, thank you, confirmation burp, the calmness that you have when it comes to dealing with consistency. You know, it's this practice, it's this thing that you've constantly been partaking in, even subconsciously. So maybe even like you've been partaking in things that have tuned your mind out. So meditation, even medicinal herbs and stuff like that, if you know what I'm talking about, you know. And it's true though, it affects your brain chemistry. And it's interesting because there's a lot of negative connotations I'm really sensing from the 5 of Cups being here. It's like the people that were around you were honestly seeing things in such there's just something so, it just didn't work. Honestly, it's not even like there's something wrong with these people. It's like, this is just not fucking working for me anymore. And you really had to surround yourself with whatever the fuck you were making. Like you're the one who gave yourself peace. You're the one who worked on your goals. And honestly, it wasn't even worked on your goals. It was like identifying those goals and dreams. And We have water sign energy with the Ace of Cups here, and especially with the Cancerian card, the Chariot. It's like you had to really allow yourself to acknowledge, like, you do care. You do care to an extent. That's what it is, though. You care to an extent. And honestly, it feels like with the spread that you could give two shits at some point. There was an extent where you felt like you were brought to a place, and obviously, like, there's this big step away within this collective of victim mentality. You're like, I'm not even gonna blame anyone. I put myself in this position. I'm gonna take responsibility. And instantly, like, you're just like, done. It was like a turnover, that turnover rate. And it's crazy because even me saying that, like, I'm sure that's been used in a lot of negative connotations, but truly you're letting these parts of yourself cycle through is what it feels like. And you let go of these things. So therefore, you're not attracting the same people. You're not attracting that level of fulfillment. Your standards have really, like, elevated. It has enlightened you, though, in that elevation. It's not so that people can't reach my standards. No, you place those standards because you know that some people are capable of meeting you halfway. Because halfway, meeting someone halfway, communion with someone in a connection, is that we come together as two whole parts. Two whole ass motherfucking beings. And we come together and we commune. So there's this energy of, you're definitely attracting during this time a more soul connected community, tribe, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords with the Five of Wands coming out, but I'm not going to take those because it would fall out. So Ace of Pentacles, King of Wands. So Ace of Pentacles, earth sign element. Earth signs are, sorry, I'm just like Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. I was having such a hard time with that one today. It's like, wait, I kind of want to look more into this. This is really interesting. It's someone outside of you is seeing your progress. Someone outside of you is seeing the things that you've built over a long period of time. They've also kind of like even sensed more so what you've had to walk away from. Yes, sometimes the things that you articulate aren't coming out in the ways that you want it to, but it's the ways that it needs to come out. There's something about it needs to just come out in the way that it is, because even if it feels like immature or naive or just like less experience, that's truly what immaturity is. It's just that lack of experience and applying the things that you've learned, so therefore developing your wisdom. So it's like this energy of someone really seeing very clearly that you've had to walk away from something that just wasn't there. Like, I don't know, maybe it had to do with your own level of self-esteem too. It's like you weren't there to support yourself. You weren't there to give yourself assured, what is this? It's like, it's interesting because you've done a lot of work, like I was saying. And there's a lot of things that people are going to say about your progress, but in reality, you had to tune it back. You had to tune back your attention into you. You had to attune. You had to attune yourself. And by being in tune with your own level of self-regulation, honestly, self-support, self-love, self-care, the things that you're doing to show up for yourself every single day, it's becoming this form of acknowledging that this isn't going to work for me anymore, simply because it's not truly allowing me to progress. I'm not progressing forward. And this path that you're on is paved by you. The things that you're perceiving, the things that are in your peripherals, the things that you can't even perceive, the unknown, the subconscious, the things that haven't been brought to light, there's nothing wrong with that, you know? There's nothing wrong with not knowing. And I feel like that's something that you had to learn again, but also in a way where you're just rediscovering all these things time and time again. And opalite is going to be significant during this time as well. So white crystals, allowing that cleansing energy to encompass you. So there's something about protecting your space that's very significant during this time. And a good way to do that is just honestly imagining a white light beaming from your crown chakra and enveloping you like a bubble. So that just is a representation of you being protected at all times. And I feel like there was maybe like, even with this King of Wands energy, and it's next to the Ten of Pentacles here, is it just wasn't enough. And even when I say that, I just feel like it was funny though, because you really didn't question the worth of your environment. It's like you didn't hold people to this like standard that you've now developed and also like embody with yourself. You literally demonstrate these things to people all the time and they see it so fucking clearly. It was more so when you finally acknowledged, this just isn't enough. I don't feel it. I don't feel fulfilled. And it's not to say that you're very like emotionally driven. It's actually to say that your emotions fuel you in a way where you can bring yourself a clear representation into your physical dimensional experience. And that too is you interacting with the physical world. You're allowing your soul to come through by experiencing your emotions, by understanding and validating it, acknowledging it, and being inspired to act. That's literally succession. You've been allowing this process to unfold. There's something about though, like celebrating yourself. Maybe you've been putting it off is kind of what I'm sensing too. Because this is not like the progress that you had perceived to be a sense of, maybe even like past conditionings too, of like how you always had to be cheered on by people, you know, like it wasn't even that, they just did naturally, like whatever you did, they just kind of cheered you on. And it was kind of like, what for though? It was like, where's the intentional experience in this? And that's really what I'm getting from this Eight of Cups coming horizontally over the Four of Swords. You had to make peace. You had to make peace with the fact that some people that have come into your life, that have shared things with you, it's not that you don't view them as precious, or it's not like you're disregarding it or being ungrateful. It's not what I'm sensing. It's more so like it's deeper. It's this deeper level of acknowledgement. Thank you, confirmation. I do feel kind of like unsettled energy, a lot of fear in the heart chakra space, maybe even your throat chakra. It's like speaking up your differences. There's something about like just not telling people, like you just kind of like maybe even walked away when they just disrupted your peace. And now it's come to the point where it's like, okay, these people don't even fucking know. They don't even know. They don't know because you haven't shared this information about yourself. And so if anything, they view you in a very positive light, but it's more like the things that you see, the things that you're experiencing, they have no idea. And that's going to be really significant, is to actually relay this information. Not to say like, oh, there's something wrong with you, or because you did, this is not that. It's not that. It's literally like, I really appreciate your presence in my life. Like the things that you have said and done with me, through me, for me, whatever it is, everything that we have done in connection, I respect. It is now my turn to speak up to you and let you know that in order to honor who I am, like who I truly am, that is for you to know. That is for you to decide, not define, okay? Like you're not stuck in this box. You're someone that's constantly evolving as long as you tap into that love energy that is within you, right? The things that you feel in this area is fear, but when you feel it in your gut, that's your intuition. When you connect your gut to your heart, you can allow that heart chakra energy to move through your root very smoothly. And this is going to also require a lot of strength, a lot of faith in yourself to really stand up and be responsible for speaking your own, or not even speaking, honestly, showing people what the fuck you are. That's literally what it is. You're a very sensitive being because you also are just so grateful for everything that you have. You're not a very greedy person, is what I'm sensing. It's like, even when things are presented to you, the things that you walk towards, you're just so grateful to be walking, to be alive, to take a step, to drink some water. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about you that's very simple. Simple. And that simplicity was honestly taken advantage of, is what it feels like, on a subliminal level even. Like, people think that you don't, it's like one of those things where just because you're not someone to complain or something, like they continue to push your buttons. And it's not to say that your buttons necessarily are being pushed, honestly, because there's like this very like strong, smooth, fluid level of calm that you move with the winds. You don't allow that to restrict you. If anything, if it's going in the opposite direction, you feel that shit on your face. You embrace it. You let the thing, that inanimate thing, that Mother Nature literally push you back if it has that kind of force. But the thing is, you're not moving against the wind, you're moving with it. So some people, honestly, they just aren't meant to be there. They just aren't meant to be there. And I feel like that's something that, it's like, you've celebrated so many successes, you've gone through a lot with these people, is what's coming through, especially like maybe since childhood. Page of Pentacles coming out on the bottom of the deck. And it's about time that things have changed, truly, where you can really see clearly that your dreams are attainable. And it is kind of like, maybe you've already let go of these people, honestly, is what I'm sensing from the Five of Cups. It's like you've really had to come to reckoning that these people are not here. They're not here, they're not around you, and you don't have to plug into that way of thinking anymore. And it's like, it's an eerily, it's kind of like euphoric almost, where you feel so free, but then there's this like inkling of anxiety there. And at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, but I chose for me. I chose with me. I decided to take this step. I decided to honestly shut the fuck up. That's literally what it feels like. It's like you don't want to blame people for what their upbringing was like, what they were conditioned to believe. That's none of your fucking business. Like, I really, really feel like you just stayed in your own fucking lane. And that's why there's going to be a more cleared community that's going to be, you have an opportunity to cultivate a clearer intention with the community that in which you cultivate. Yes, even within the differences. It's not that you're moving towards, okay, when I say soul tribe though, Three of Cups, thank you, confirmation. It doesn't mean that there's no differences. It's because there's differences that are acknowledged. You know, like you give that validation. You're like, we are different and yet we're the same. We're connected. That's what I mean by sameness. You know, it doesn't mean that we don't have our own uniqueness. Like, it's not equivalent to the fact that, like, when you have this deep connection with not only yourself but with others, it's to see them as they are. I really feel like that's not what was happening previously. Like, it was like you had to walk away from situations where the differences were almost like used like it. Do you see these wands being brandished upon each other? It's like they were used to destroy and to honestly damage each other. When in reality, you wanted to cultivate this, like, it was like, it's kind of like the essence of like, you lead by example. And you embraced your uniqueness. You allowed yourself to be different. But then at the same time, it's because of that acknowledgement, you opened yourself up to allowing the sameness, the connectedness, the seamlessness, the fluidity to also come through as well. And you work through these things. And that's what honestly made you probably go into hermit mode. That's kind of what I'm sensing. You had to walk away, and it really it was just tiring. It was tiring to be in that energy, so you really had to recuperate. And it's going to really, this is like a good omen kind of reading is what I'm sensing. It's like all those things that you've weeped, that you've witnessed, literally slip through your fucking fingers. And they don't have this like material form. You just felt it. You felt it so deeply. You felt it. You really fucking felt it, is what I feel from this spread. And you had to also reaffirm your own process, your own response to this. You had to see very clearly that this was who I was in that moment, who was grieving. And I acknowledge you. I see you. And now I have the cleared space. Thank you for going through that. It's like, truly say thank you to yourself, because you literally witnessed and grieved a lot of love that you felt like wasn't going anywhere. It's a lot. It's a lot of letting go. It's a lot of releasing, relinquishing this construct, this conditioning of control of. And now it's time for you to really honor and respect yourself with every single breath. Every single breath that you breathe into your body so that you can live. So that you can feel alive, truly. Yeah, during this time, you're going to be able to make moves in directions that will feel a little bit more stable, a little bit more secure. Maybe there's going to, because I just saw the Two of Swords as well, you're going to have to make a decision. And it's going to be really, really, really important to trust your gut, to trust your intuition, even if you don't know what's going to happen, even if you don't even see how this could happen. That's like so key during this time. It's like you've already cultivated the physical manifestation of stability. It's not that though. It's that there's someone responding to this energy that you've been cultivating within your own internal world. So that is what's being reciprocated during this time. Whew, that is crazy. I'm gonna actually use my deck. This is my my self-love journey deck, self-care, self-core deck. I don't know what to call it, but it's just cards that I made with the intention of love for the self. Nurture the self in nature with nature. It's natural. Going on walks, mental health walks are important. At least just go, okay? I highly recommend just go. Doesn't have to be a certain period of time, doesn't have to be anything. You just go outside and start walking and let your steps take you wherever you want to be taken to. And so being in nature, being outside is going to be significant during this time, especially with the seasons slowly changing. We have less than a month until the spring equinox. That might be significant to you, might be your favorite season as well. It's one of my favorite seasons. I like all seasons, but either way. Experience the ethers, release the externals. Like I was saying though, you've been releasing a lot. Experience the ethers, allow yourself to connect with your intuition. Don't doubt your intentions. So with that Chariot card coming out previously, it is all about intentions, but it's also going to be significant to stand behind that. Not because it's actually a physical thing, you know? It's like, that's what faith is you trust that your energy is just being cultivated in a empowering manner. Empowering. It's not about positive, negative. It's about empowering the self. Thank you, confirmation. Okay, let's pull the last few cards. The rainbow shines after the rain. What you desire manifests. So choose your desires. All right. So the rainbow shines after the rain. So maybe standing in the rain is significant if that is something that is possible in your environmental space. 1221, infinitely divine, accept, receive, divinity, love. There's love all around you. It's only up to you if you're willing to witness that. So there's something about your perception of things have definitely shifted for the better. For the bettering of yourself, for the evolution of you through your love, right? And you're the one who is simply able to discern that. Tarot readings are confirmation. They are not, it doesn't dictate your life. And I do feel like even with that, there's a lot of people in this collective who like to say, but, and I'm like, okay, but that is exactly what I mean. You're the one who's literally leading yourself. You know what I mean? You're the one who gets to discern and make a decision. That is up to you. That is what you can allow. And it can be something that brings you into detriment. It's honestly up to you to witness those things, to witness those parts of yourself, to accept your shadow and integrate that. Integrate it. Alchemy is so important, right? Don't let your own emotions rule you. Like, that's not something to shroud your judgment in. It's for you to experience and embody in that moment so that you can really and live in your experience. I like to think that emotions are like spices. You know, you taste so many different things, but it nourishes you. It nourishes you even if you don't know those kinds of like biological, nutritional, factual things. All right, so that is a general reading. If you want more personal, you can always email me. But other than that, thanks so much for being here. I know I haven't been as consistent on YouTube. I'm trying to figure out a better schedule so I can put some more of these readings out there. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. That's literally what's gonna happen. So that's literally what's happening, actually. And so yeah, that is it for the general reading today. I'm gonna pull some numbers, so remember to use your discernment once again, but if these are going to be significant for you moving forward, that is for you to decide. We have 9, 7, 4, 3, 11 significant, 17 is also significant as well. There's a lot of good energy that's being cultivated for you during this time. And the like astral planes, your angels, your guides, they are here. They are always here, and they're always protecting you beyond anything that we could even truly imagine, truly. And that is what faith is. It's where you build trust with yourself so that you can cultivate just this unconscious, subconscious level of faith. And it requires practice. It requires practice. So pave your path, okay? Take your steps. Allow yourself to relax and be at peace with the progress that you've already made and the process that you've undergone to get to this point. You're the one who brought yourself here. You experienced all those things that you experienced, and they are all valid, okay? Just want to remind you. So, send you guys so much love and support on your own spiritual journey. Bye, collective.